sociology subjects, and previous chapter also have been uploaded on the playlist. So today we have to discuss chapter number 3, and this is known as the society. Before moving ahead, we should define that what does it mean, the term society. People who live in a definable community and who share a culture, we normally consider it as a society. For sociologists, society is the cornerstone of everything. This is why it is essential to study it. The society we live in determines many aspects of our lives, such as where we grow up, how we are influenced, whom we met, and what we do, and how we experience the life. Each society is different, and there are millions across the world. Let's talk about some of the characteristics of the society. Societies are characterized by shared value, beliefs, and the culture. However, the remarkable thing is that every individual society has a different value, beliefs, and the culture. No two societies are the same, or you can say the shared value beliefs are varies from culture to culture. For example, if we talk about the New York, it is very typical to get around using a virtual taxi app such as Uber. If you talk about the Pakistan, you also have to in today's world, it is a trend to use the virtual taxi apps such as Uber and the Cream. However, if we talk about other societies such as the Netherlands, they don't use these apps. Instead, they share the culture is to get around on a bike. And if we talk about the Japanese, their shared culture is to get around on a bicycle. So everything varies from culture to culture or area to area. They share their values, beliefs, and also a culture. A society consists of its people and the institution that surround them. A characteristics of the more advanced society is that their members often share political authority. So these are some of the characteristics. What you have to remember in the characteristics of the society, that each society is vary from area to area, or you can say it varies from location to location. So in characteristics we make some comparison that how society differ from each other. You can make a comparison of the societies like Pakistani societies, and you can compare it with the US, and you can compare it with the Chinese, you can compare it with the Japanese. This is the way you how to explain that what are some of the feature and the characteristics of any society. If we talk about the types of the society, societies change dramatically over time. With each major change comes a different type of a society. If we talk about the sociologist Gerhard Lenski, 1924, basically came up with a series of the definition for different types of society. Lenski defined, or the definitions were based on how technologically advanced society was. This is because along with the advancement of society, there come advancement in their use of the technology. Lenski ranked society in the accordance with how industrialized they were, starting with pre-industrial society, then industrial society, and ending up with a post-industrial society. So what you have to remember, you can remember that that Lenski basically defined the types of the society. Okay, their ideology was it basically starts from, you can say, pre-industrial society, and then ending with pre post-industrial society. Sociologists now consider the most of the world live in a post-industrial society. With the rise of the technology, however, some believe we have moved even further than that into an age of the technology. If we talk about some examples, society is not a linear, and the shifts with the progressions of a country, or you could imagine society as a spectrum, usually beginning with the pre-industrial and ending in a post-industrial. However, the rate at which society moves along this spectrum varies greatly, with some even going back on their progress. So, if we talk about some uh, types of the society, so first, initially, according to Lenski, we have pre-industrial society as a type of the society. According to Lenski, there are 5 stages in the pre-industrial society. The first one is hunter-gatherer. The hunter-gatherer stage emerged at the very beginning of a human life. People were nomadic and mainly rely on foraging to survive. At this point, society had little material inequality due to the lack of resources. If we talk about uh, second stage, that is known as pastoral, that stage focus on domestic animals, including breeding and the farming them for resources. So what were their resources? They were resources to of that particular area. They basically used and domestic animals and including breeding and the farming for their resources, or you can say for their survival. The third stage is known as horticulture. This stage is more settled as humans learn to plant crops rather than relying on what they find in the wild. People in a horticulture societies were much less nomadic than hunter-gatherer societies as they had some tools and objectives to help them. Stage number four, this is known as agriculture. Uh, this stage host large agriculture settlements and advancement in the technology. People in these societies focused most of their efforts on food production, but new technology like plow helps them to farm more efficiently. The last stage and in the pre-industrial societies is a feudal societies have a strict structure of a hierarchy. Those at the system top have more power and land than those at the bottom. The next stage comes into the society, and this is known as industrial society. The industrial society was famous, named after industrial revolution that began in 1760. The industrial revolution was a period in which there were a significant development in the manufacturing, and this revolution resulted in a heavy duty machinery aiding labor production and the farm work. The Industrial Revolution began in England but quickly spread to the US, where technology started to be used to produce goods and the services. The Industrial Revolution was a significant societal shift, or it interlinked societies and the science and showed that importance of sharing scientific information between individuals to develop a society. So the last and mostly sociologists believe that we are living in the post-industrial society era. Post-industrial societies are a more recent development based on producing information and the services. They come after the industrial societies and mainly thrive from technological advancement. The members of a post-industrial societies are likely to sell service as a job, like a digital advisor, rather than producing goods as they did in the industrial society. So these were three basic types of the societies we are discussing, or you can say sociologists define the types of the society.